What's up, everybody? It's Richard here at Gas Monkey's Monkey Trap. You've been here before, but what you haven't seen is a big empty hole. And you know what? I want to fill that as soon as possible. So we're dragging one off the POS row. I've been saving it for a little bit of a while, and I want to have it built. And we're going to go all out on this build, all the way down to the frame, custom up with a new frame, new body work, new everything, you name it. And you're going to get to see it at SEMA, but you're going to get to see it here first, because we're gonna build it right now. Let me show you this. Y'all might remember back in January, I bought a handful of cars out of a little town west of Fort Worth, and among those was a 67 GMC stepside. Now, what I saw was a diamond in the rough, something that I thought we could make into a really cool truck. So the idea for this build was to have a stockish looking truck that is also badass. I'm talking big wheels, laying frame, you name it. And I want this to be something that everybody appreciates, knows, sees, but also feels like it's attainable. Now, before we tear this truck completely down, we're gonna need to get a hold of a couple of things. All new sheet metal, brand new chassis. Let's go ahead and do a new engine and drivetrain. And well, the sheet metal just got here, so let's take a look. What is up?
What's up, Richard? How are you?
Well, at least you guys called the right guys.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so what are we thinking?
We're getting rid of the step side now.
Either or, what do you want to do?
We got a badass fleet side bed for you.
What do y'all want to do?
Dude,
Fleet side.
listen to what he's got. That's what we were just discussing, and you'll want it too.
Tell me what's up.
We manufacture the OEM style, and then we have the 4-inch wider tub, which means it's literally 4-inch wider than factory, and the floor matches, so it bolts together at factory location. Now, we're adding 4 inches to the inside, so you can get a huge tire factor. I literally have 80% of this truck in that trailer for you right now.
So all this truck is ours? You
Man.
guys start ripping stuff out of it. So AMD came through with our sheet metal, and now it's time to go see what we're talking about chassis.
This is our new grounded chassis. And I say new, I should say new. We've already had a grounded chassis, but when Jay called me and said that they want something a little special, a little bit more tire clearance, a little bit more low, so we designed a new frame rail, which meant we had to change the fixture to accommodate the new frame rail. Everything we do is all in a fixture. So front cross members up a ½ an inch, rear cross members up about 1.5 inches to go from a 29-inch tall overall diameter tire to a 32.
The idea really behind this, asking all of these special accommodations, are for this truck to sit completely on the ground without any daylight at all, even with as tall of tires we're gonna put under there.
We're gonna air this thing up and get this thing out of here.
They even brought us a chassis without a body or anything that lifts itself off the ground. They have this thing built to where we can power up. That's crazy. We have a full rig built and ready to go.
So we got a couple of our major items already, and the next thing to get is what's gonna make this whole thing move. It's called a powertrain. What is it? It better be badass.
Okay, well, it better be badass because it's kind of one of a kind at this point.
What does that mean?
This is an L8T Chevrolet Performance crate motor, 6.6 liter Chevrolet crate motor.
It's over 400 horsepower the way it sits.
And nobody has one. We're the only ones that has one besides Scoggin Dickey's development team.
They have a video of a stock bottom end one of these, you know, with some headwork, twin turbos, pushing 2,100 horsepower. Stock bottom end.
Love it.
Yeah. So, however wild we want to get with it, it'll absolutely handle it.
What are we trying to accomplish horsepower when we're done?
I would say 6 is just probably a safe bet.
Okay.
Keeping it NA. I like the NA sound, and especially being in a truck. Next step, we got to stab in our engine into the new chassis. I would just 99.9% bet that everything's going to go flawless. These guys, everything they've built so far is gorgeous. So let's get it in here.
So it's about time to get this 68 C10 blown apart. Fenders, doors, cab, bed's gotta go because it's a step side and we're going short wide. Dragging the cab off to get media blasted so that we can do all the body work and the show quality paint. We've got 2 big piles inside, one that goes in the trash, one that's keep.
So Jason just got back with the cab, been blasted and sealed up. So what we're gonna do, take it up in the air, slide our chassis underneath it, set it down, kind of just see the fit. Hi, Mike! What's up? We knew we'd have to do a little bit of change to the firewall, but it looks like we're gonna have to do the tunnel too. With this chassis sitting all the way on the ground, obviously the engine and transmission have to be moved up. And as you can see, our transmission tunnel does not clear anymore. That's why we're test fitting.
Nice setup though. Jeez, this
Yeah.
frame is rad. This engine's radder.
Yeah.
What is it?
L8T.
What?
L8T.
Okay, I only speak in horsepower.
It's a direct injected 425 horsepower, 6.6 liter engine.
Nice. Plenty to move this beast.
We're gonna cam it and put LT4 heads and beehive springs.
Okay. I'm a painter. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a good plan. Beehive springs.
What are we looking like, Mike?
We need to go back.
Okay.
Come down a little bit more. I mean, you can if you want. Okay. Yeah, that's good. No, a little bit more. Just come. Yeah, just a little bit more.
On this chassis, you know, they're wanting to set it up as a one-piece drive shaft. I think we're just wanting to take it a little bit further and clean it up to where we can have all the room we want for a console and audio. So we're gonna do a carrier bearing and a split drive shaft. We're gonna bring it to the back of the cab and come up. As you can tell right now, the drive shaft will be in the back of the cab without even lifting this. This rear end will go up another 7 inches from here. So we really are limited on space, and doing a split drive shaft gives us a lot more space underneath the cab. What we got going on, man?
Checking out the cool part.
You about to start assembling the bed?
Yes.
Sweet.
So there's where the bed floor would normally mount to. And there's the wheel housing
Yeah, you can go ahead and just
all the way up.
yeah,
No.
that's probably gonna be about here, and that's gonna be about here. We have to take and build the outer surrounding. So not the bed floor, not the tubs. You want the surrounding, we'll set it, match it with all the body lines, and then we'll pull a measurement up to where we want the bed floor to be, build standoff jacks or whatever, and then lower the floor down in there.
Okay.
Because if you already have the floor in there, the bed's just gonna sit on top of the shock mounts and float. So we really can't get the body lines right. What we need to do now, pull these tubs out, undo the tailgate, open the bed up, slide the bed floor in, close it all back up.
All right.
Donkey dick.
Jay just yelled donkey dick. Now you see? You see the visions? Look at my shaft.
Okay, give me some. Push, come in.
Bro, I'm fucking dealing with 40 joints back here.
Oh no! We gotta cut the cab right here. I mean, we knew we were gonna have to, but
Okay.
we hope we could at least.
Well, we thought it was 2 inches.
We're waiting to do this so we didn't lose rigidity.
And we're back to clearance and things. Hey. 4. Look at the levels. I love it. You have a measurement?
Based.
All right. Then let's pull the fucking tranny so we can get it to Kenny and get it to the transmission shop. Where is my... Let it go. We've had a really cool idea. Richard mentioned in the beginning, and we're kind of just run with it. We want to take the front grille and make it one piece. I'm talking about headlight bucket, everything, one piece, billet. So one giant chunk of aluminum in front of this truck. Maybe integrate GMG in it, you know, sink the buckets into it, everything. So right now, Jay and Ricky are getting all the pieces out. We're gonna unbox them and get Richard out here to talk about it.
Is that what you want to talk about? Grill time? Yeah. Give me a grill.
I think that we need to figure out something trick to do here. You know, Titan made that contact with you. Well, Titans of CNC are about as badass as they get. Can we add these? It is scanning and make it one piece. This would have to be integrated in it also. I think to keep your whole thing going, if this was all one piece, dude, nobody's done that. Are you still picturing trims? Yeah, but if we do this and build, we gotta do the trim build. I mean, do we test their limits, how good they are? Oh, they're the best. It's about how nice they're gonna be to it.
Put them on. We can smooth this panel, we can put in a piece and have it make these in billet, but GMG. Take this G and put it over there.
That would be so fucking sick.
I like it.
We spent so much time making parts by hand, and then so much time trying to make it look like we didn't make them by hand. Kind of, I learned. I hate you. I mean, don't you know, like, I want everything to look like, you know, a machine did it, like, perfect. But yeah, we did by hand, so. It's a lot of fun, but burns up a lot of time. That's the truth. Good nipple. Up forward.
So we got the bed back on, and we're just kind of going through making sure that this thing's straight before we make the actual bed mounts, because obviously it doesn't go to the frame anymore. So we're going to be looking at probably a foot tall bed mount. We're just checking square, level, plumb, all that good stuff, and we're good. Richard likes the way we did the bed, so now it's time to hard mount it. Build some mounts, get it lifted up. Yeah, I've got one bed mount fabbed up. I think we both like it. Ricky cut out all the rest of them for the templates. Honestly, it's time to get started welding them up. You can start grinding.
Oh, my favorite part. Oh, grinding. Life's a grind.
All right, so our truck's officially off the ground. The airbags are actually held up now. Jay got us some fittings put together, and she's on all fours. So we actually was able to roll it out from the lift and get to see it for once. But I think the goal is we're gonna lay it out on the ground and see what it's like with all the body panels on it.
We decided we're gonna go with a smooth look on the firewall. So I remade these pieces here. It's gonna give us a nice firewall. Once we incorporate our top pieces, it's really going to blend nicely. As you see there, we'll pull all this together. It's going to be really nice.
So our guys from Titan CNC are here, and it's time to get an idea of what we're gonna do, man. This is the factory drill. This is all four pieces of it. This piece is not there, and then these two buckets aren't there. Those are the key ones that we're trying to integrate in.
These will be cake to integrate,
Okay.
no problem. We will have to cut it in the middle,
Okay.
because our machine bed isn't quite long enough to hold
Right.
this whole thing.
Mhm.
So we'll probably cut it in the middle, and then we'll have a third piece that'll kind of tie it together and make it look seamless and beautiful, and it'll look like it's one piece.
So outside of this, kind of want to show y'all what we're talking about, the GMC to GMG logos. Y'all want to come check them out real quick?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
It would be sick to have the big billet letters GMG. We want to do it here on the hood. We have a spot on the tailgate that says GMC on it too. They're actually embossed in the metal back here.
yeah.
This is kind of Richard's idea, taking, shaving those off, and then having the actual billet letters back here of GMG. Would I just scan that for y'all too?
Yeah,
or would
just
you
scan that way we know how big to make the pocket on the back side.
Dude, That 3D scanner's just changed the game for everybody, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it has. Yeah. Still requires work from people like us, but
Yeah.
you know.
All right, guys, so we got the inner fenders knocked out this weekend. Kenny got the AC done. Ricky is about to start building the engine. We got Mike Coy coming in. We got about a month and a half left on this truck.
You know, the truck's gonna be cool, it's gonna look good, but what's really cool is we're not just building a trailer queen. This thing is gonna have a whole lot of go. The L8T engine, somewhere, you know, in the 400 range stock, but what we're looking to be is above 600. So what's so famous about the LS-LT is these are still a in-block single cam push rod motor. So what that means is this cam here has a lifter that rides on top of the cam lobe, and that lifter pushes a push rod which actuates the valve. It's a very simple engine design, it has been proven. First thing we're doing is taking out the stock cam, and we're going to be putting in this Scoggins-Dickey racing cam. What it's going to do is give us more lift and duration. It's going to allow the valves to stay open longer. When you're getting more fuel and air in and compressing and getting more fuel and air out, you're going to make more power. Lift is actually going to be the point how high the top of the cam lobe is. That's how far it's going to open the valve. Duration is for how long this area here. You're going to determine how long the valve stays open. So with the bigger cam, we're gonna have bigger valve springs. We're also gonna do bigger push rods. So we'll be going to a manly push rod that's gonna be able to handle the combined force of a stiffer spring and a higher lift cam.
The Scoggins-Dickey Race Shop sent us a set of their billet valve covers.
That looks really good. I know people paint the stock ones and such, but this is gonna be the way to go.
We reached out to LME, which is just down the street in Houston, and they were saying, we want to build you one of our custom intakes. Plus, we want to go ahead and throw it on our dyno, run it through the ringer, make sure you're good to go.
So before we send this motor down to Houston for the dyno, we want to get it in there. Jay had a great point. We need to get it in there, mock up everything that we can.
So we've tested everything. There's literally a country mile between the front pulley and this giant radiator we got from the guys at Wizard Cooling, and this is more than capable of cooling what I perceive to be a 600 to 700 horsepower engine. Big engine fits perfectly. TCI did a great job of locating it in the chassis just about as far back as you could possibly get. All that's up to do now really is tear this whole thing apart and get this motor down to LME and get it dynoed.
As the boys keep grinding away back at the shop, Ricky takes a little road trip down to Houston to get the heart and soul of the Skidmark tuned up and ready to tear ass down the Vegas Strip.
Are we getting close to 600?
It'll hit 600. We just barely pulled in. It's already making good power.
We are finished up here at LME with the engine dyno. We're right where we want to be as far as horsepower and torque. Very impressive, we're really happy with it. We are going to have to continue our throttle body quest because the race throttle bodies are just going to be too much for a motor that we want to be driving. We want to have really good drivability, and we got to have that classic load. But the important thing is the intake that they built is just badass, looks great, sounds great, engine makes great horsepower. Cannot wait to get this engine back to Gas Monkey Garage and get it in the truck. Josh went this morning and picked up our transmission, so I'm gonna mate the transmission and the engine together. For mock-up, we're gonna put it in the truck one more time, do a final mock-up with engine and transmission in.
All right, so a big thing that we've been worried about is how tall this LME intake is. This is a monster. We had very, very, very limited clearance underneath this hood. So instead of cutting holes in the hood or anything like that, we got thin 2-inch throttle bodies. We barely clear, but now we're running a little bit more issue. It doesn't quite fit. So what we're gonna have to do is take and machine a little bit off of this arm and on here to where it'll fit the profile of LME's intake. The throttle bodies that we're using actually set down and have twin arms that cam off of each other. And when they cam down, they actually go below the mating surface. And because this thing is milled out for a big footprint, it hits. So what we're gonna have to do is come in the side, machine out a little notch for the cam to drop into. Not too much, but still scary. We got our intake in, throttle body's on, everything's clearanced out. We got movement in all the arms. We're clear under the hood. It's time to move on to piping and plumbing and wiring, man. This engine's looking great, engine bay's looking great, so let's get it all plumbed in. Down the last little bit of our fab work. We got the lifted bed coming in. We got AC lines, pockets, you know, running through the fender well, just trying to clean everything up, do those last minute touches. But here's the thing, we don't know paint color. We don't know interior color. And I think it's time to sit down, Richard, and get this nailed down.
Oh shit, there's two of you. What do you want?
There's two of us.
Hey,
We're gonna
buddy.
sit down and we're gonna figure something out, if you don't mind.
No! No! No!
Well, we've been asking for a little bit. You got any ideas on what you want for paint?
What do y'all think?
It doesn't matter what we think. Whatever. 6 years, I know that whatever I think is wrong.
How about black or green?
No, it's not, dude.
Not.
They sold out. I called the paint store earlier to ask if they
I done
had
bought
some,
it all.
and you bought it all.
I got some color schemes that I've kind of pulled off.
Okay.
Now, in a way, this has been done before because there's a later on in the 70s and the 80s, they did a truck called the Desert Fox kind of scheme where it had the brown stripes and there were different variants of colors of yellows and browns and whatever, and then they went down the truck. And I don't think I want to do that because it's been done too many times, but I kind of got two palettes here.
These are really like a
I
bold
like
color
these.
though.
I think these have a lot more pop than this.
I too like this. Is it too many colors? Is it not enough? This gets a little dark for me.
It is.
Same. I agree with that.
And
I was picturing like Maine when
I
you
like
pulled this
that
up.
color,
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
but if
have an
that's-
accent.
If that's Maine, we can pull in here to Maine.
Correct.
Or a metallic right here.
It really depends on what, if you're doing like a two-tone, if you're doing a stripe, what kind of stripe? Side stripe, big stripe, small stripe.
You know, it's been done a billion times before. 3 or 4 colors, maybe separated with a lighter color.
Is that where you're leaning to? A big couple big stripes?
What if they stacked and scalloped? And so you had your body color up here. And your
Okay,
body
so they
color.
were staggered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you staggered them.
Okay.
You
But
know,
it's
or there's
jotting back and
the.
forth like a scallop though too.
Yeah, I didn't understand where you were going. I thought you were doing like those.
So
like
instead of coming
sky
around
or
and it's just a
something.
straight line,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turn and go like this.
Come and jot.
The front nose cone of the hood comes around and then it drops,
Mhm.
and then comes across the hood, it goes along top, drops. So
Yeah.
that when you're looking at the hood, you've got all the colors, but they've been.
Okay. But the main thing is, what are the body color? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Look, I've got important things to do. Now you've ruined my to-do list. I had flowers for cat.
She does need flowers, but we need to know color so we can get paint ordered. And then we can do layout stuff all day long when we got it in the booth or whatever.
Well, and it'll also get us rolling on interior too, at least
Yeah.
color-wise. So,
I think I lean towards this
yeah.
or this with metallic as the body color.
I wouldn't even hate the solid if the stripes were in metallic.
Work.
Yeah. Like say you did the solid, body solid.
Yeah, they've
you could
done that.
still do the stripes in metallic and that would still look fucking
It would make
cool
the
as
stripes
shit.
pop a lot.
Yeah.
Because you
And
would
then
almost
do we
lose the
want
body.
1, 2, 3, 4 stripes? Do we want to do 3? Just these 2 in a green? Do we want to do 5?
Kinda like the lighter green.
Yeah. Like this palette.
I like the lighter green, for sure. This is the main body. We got 4 metallics in the stripe package. If we do all that, and this is cab color, this would be internal cab if I just
Yeah.
had to say something, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I would
Agreed.
say exterior, interior on that.
We're getting really close to the end of the build, and this is the point where you start forgetting things. So we're just trying to take our time and line out the last few things, you know, to where we don't forget it by the time it goes to Mike. and then have to go over there and try to fix something in the paint shop. So all sitting down, having a conversation, going over everything, and sure enough, we have skipped a few things, so we're gonna knock those out before it goes to this beautiful man here.
You want a finger bang?
I guess if my team transferred the information correctly, we got this grill, and I wanted to just kind of push and pull it a little bit so that it just had a little attitude, not, you know, not crazy dramatic, but just enough where people would go, "What the hell's going on there? That's crazy." So what do we got?
Yeah, so we got the scan you guys sent over, and you can see that it's not exactly optimal, but we were able to work with it.
Whoa.
So from that, we took it and turned it into this. So
Boom.
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, man. So we made it in 2 halves, and we made a center section that binds it all together. So it's gonna be a lot beefier than the one that you guys brought over.
The stock ones and even the repo ones, they're real thin, you know, but they do the job. They're just a beauty appointment. But what is this? You got a little grill back here?
Yeah, I filled in those holes with just solid material, and then went in and put holes in them. I thought it would give it kind of.
You probably just zoom in a little bit. Go ahead and pop this.
I gotta get my glasses on. I can't tell if those are holes or octagons or.
Yeah, they're holes for now. We can put whatever we want in there, though. We can put honeycomb in there. We can put an iso grid in there. We can put holes in there.
I think we're good with that.
100% CNC machine. Solid.
Yeah, out of billet. And they're not going to be small pieces of material either. They're going to be 6 inches thick, 18 inches wide, and 38 inches long. So we're looking at about 800 pounds of aluminum that we're going to start with.
Wow.
Murder some material.
And what do you think it'll end up weighing when it's done?
I would say probably around 80 pounds.
Super cool. I hope you are ready to make a bunch of these. People are liable to want them. But super cool. What about the lettering? What did we decide?
Yeah, so we had a couple of options. My initial thought would be to make it easier for you guys to not have to cut these original letters off, would be to make something that actually fit over each letter. But we thought, me and Josh talked about it a little bit, and he said that you guys would rather just have clean letters. So what we're probably going to do is have to cut these off and put the new ones on.
The blocks didn't bother me. You showed me that, a picture, right? The 3 blocks?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we do the same thing in the front, then I'm cool with that. Whatever way it goes, whatever way is easier.
Oh.
And of course, we're changing to GMG, right?
Correct. Yep.
I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, heck
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to work with you guys.
Oh, come on, man. It's an honor to work with you, man.
Now that Richard is stoked with how the new grill is coming along, it's time to head back over to the shop where Dirty Mike and the boys are getting started on the body work and paint for the Skidmark.
So C10s have been done over and over and over and over. They're the Mustangs of trucks. So it's like everybody's got one, everybody's had one. You know, they've just been done to the hilt. It's real important that we get our body work and our filler work all done as nicely as possible, because I guarantee you at SEMA there's going to be some really, really, really nice C10s, and it's just, they're everywhere. So the competition is extremely high, so it's really important to me and to the guys that we get it the best we can, especially in the time frame that we got, because we were cutting it tight, and most of them are year-long builds, 2-year builds, and this is, we're looking at like 3 months to do this thing. You know, body work's going to be really important because that's the first thing they're going to look at. We got the bed floor ready. We're going to hit the tops of these doors. So hopefully soon we'll have the cab here. And then we can bolt the doors and start blocking everything. Get the cab body work, start blocking into that. Thing is, if this is sprayed and I have nothing to do, I'm gonna go wear those dudes out. I'll just roll in there and be like, why isn't this done yet? Why isn't it done? We gotta go to SEMA. Woo! Gotta hurry up. Woo!
Frame ready. Now I'm reassembling the suspension, A-arms, airbags, shocks, rack and pinion. Gonna really start building this thing for the final assembly.
So we got the cab, the doors, and the fenders are all in gold. We're going to put all that stuff on the truck, bolt everything back together, and then we can start laying out our stripe pattern. It's just not safe to take measurements to try to do it that way, so we're going to do it this way so we know that when we go back together with it, everything lines up and it's all good to go.
So what's up, bro? So our buddies at Caracal went ahead and printed us a piece to test fit. So it's,
Okay.
I think it's impregnated carbon fiber. So
No way.
yeah,
So we can
Pretty
feed
cool,
this
man.
for a race truck later?
sure.
Oh! Yeah, the bottom lip is out, but like
About a 1/2 inch.
yeah.
That's why we didn't want to make it out of metal first. It's the beauty of 3D printing right there.
It's crazy seeing this thing finally and seeing all the, look how protruded you have that and then that going in.
Yeah.
This is like a, look at that.
Yeah.
That's
Now-
rad looking, dude.
I did mess with the design a little bit, and
Okay.
I took these legs off of this centerpiece because it kind of looks like an eye.
Okay, yeah.
And I figured it might just,
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
yeah. And I have the eagle right now right here,
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
if that works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for everything that y'all done for us, I think that a little eagle would be okay. It is Sunday, October 8th. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. Showed up. Ricky got the whole engine plumbed, wired, everything's in. We're ready for the cab. Now, Mike stayed a little bit late last night, so let's go take a peek at how far he got. Bro! Woo! That looks so good. He even got clear on it. Colors landed out pretty damn good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. This is gonna be so rad, dude. I can't wait to put this on. All the hours of body work in and late nights and everything. Everything's starting to come together. You start seeing the vision. This is when it starts getting really exciting.
Crazy Mike, you worked all night on this?
Yeah.
I finally found the guy that can shine the diamond in the goat's ass.
So our wheels are here. We're leaving tomorrow and our wheels just showed up. It has been stressful, but Chris over at JTX has promised us these things are badass and they just taken a while. They're one off. They are Gas Monkey wheels now, so fingers crossed. They fit perfect. They look great.
Oh!
Lord, dude. That's a lot of wheel.
That's a lot of wheel. And we are 24's front and back, right?
24's front and back. 12 in the rear and 9.5 up front. 9.
Yo, dude. I don't know if I should just, I'm afraid to take them out of the box. They look too good. Look at that, it comes with a free shower cap.
There you go, you take a shower.
What?
Go.
Why is our offset like that in the front?
To get a fatter tire in the front and to get the turning radius we wanted.
All right. Well, let's check it out, homies. So, as you can tell, we just unboxed the JTXs, and these are insane. Not only are they one-of-a-kind design, they're one-off, and we've got to test fit them and make sure everything's cool and good to go. Then we got to wrap some rubber around them and get on the road.
So shiny. It's so shiny. What's...
This is Sparta. I know these guys are tired because they're working their ass off. I'm just sitting around stressing. But the truck is on the ground, so to speak. Wow. On the ground on 2-4. Here we go.
I think it's safe to say Richard approves. While the skid mark is getting the finishing touches, the most important pieces just arrived at the shop. Let's see how the new grill came out, shall we?
So, this is the dealio, huh?
This is it, man. I hope you like it.
What are you talking about? You guys are titans of CNC. Why would I not like it? I saw the ginormous block of aluminum, or billet, or whatever y'all call this stuff. How long did it take to machine this?
Took about 60 hours.
60?
Yeah, over the last 6 days. So, and that's not counting filming and everything. So, me and our team had a lot of late nights and weekends. So, I'm sure y'all are familiar with that pain. But
right now, yes, we are all in pain. I think we did 60 hours yesterday. But this is super cool. Rip it out, man.
All right, let's do it.
Holy shit. If that is not a statement piece, I do not know what it is. This will probably be the most photographed grill in the history of SEMA.
I sure hope so.
In the history of fucking GMC C10s.
Was it about a month ago when I texted you and said, hey, I think we're gonna have to pull out of this because we didn't have the machine yet. We didn't have the 3D print yet. And that company, Caracal, that 3D printed that grill for us, without that, like, I would have never had the confidence to make it out of metal. So they really came through for us. Yeah. And you know, they were gonna print it in Austin, but they had a show and they actually sold their large scale 3D printer. And so the only other one that they had was in Italy. So they came through for us, and since we had the 3D print and it went in there so good, I felt confident that we could make it out of metal. So we did.
Dude, it's sick.
But it wasn't without some anxiety.
I've got anxiety just looking at it, thinking that these guys got to install it. I know they're capable, but this is going to be a showstopper. They're going to be just like, what the hell?
That is the story of the Texas Skidmark. While still in its infancy, the Skidmark has already become a gas monkey legend. The boys made it down to Vegas in the nick of time, and SEMA welcomed the Skidmark with open arms. But SEMA was just the beginning. We have some big plans in store for the Skidmark, so make sure to keep up with all things Gas Monkey Garage and get you
What's up, everybody? First build, and you, the fans out there, decided what you wanted, and you came down on the 1978 Ford Ranger Lariat, or Lariat Ranger, I'm not sure which is supposed to be said first. Short bed, all original truck except for the wheels and tires. This truck is really kick-ass, actually, just the way it sits. Killer body, killer patina, killer look, and as always, we're gonna fuck it up. So, 58% of you said Pro Touring, that's fine with me. 70% of you said Coyote. I'm thinking Gen 3 Coyote. As far as if we're gonna add any power, sure, it's got a supercharger on the Gen 3, so we'll go with that. 77% of you guys and gals out there voted for that. As far as the chassis, you know, we've done low and high and air ride and everything. This one, everybody said, let's go static coilovers and make it just a tough, badass looking truck, no matter what. As far as wheels go, obviously some billet wheels, maybe a little bit of a lip, a little attitude. We're gonna reach out to JTX on that and see what they can do for us. As far as the interior goes, what can you do? Bucket seats, bench seat, single seat? We're gonna go with Resto Mod, because 61% of you said that, and that's a pretty good descriptive adjective. As far as the paint, it was too close to call. So, sadly enough for Mike Coy, he's gonna have to work on a car this time instead of just paint it, because we're gonna leave it in its patinaed state. But I want everything else to be shiny, new. I wanna polish all of this. There's a few small components that I may want to change up. We're going to chrome it, polish it, everything just super, super nice. and what have you. Down low, but not too low. A little bit of attitude, good sound, good brakes. Wheel it up, tire it up, throw a Gen 3 in there with, yeah, I say we go with a 6-speed manual.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of attitude and have some fun with it.
Well, everything that you're describing is pro touring race-ish, other than a cage,
Exactly.
but
all new glass, all new rubber, but I don't want to get too far into the rest of the particulars. I think I want to paint the inside of the cab, and I want to paint the inside of the engine compartment, and of course treat underneath. I want it to look like candy inside here, underneath, and inside there, and then the rest of the truck just be super sexy and badass.
You got an idea on color?
On the inside, yeah, maybe a gunmetal, like a sexy gunmetal color, maybe factory color, but it's too bright for me. I think it needs to, maybe gunmetal. We'll just
some
we'll
kind
look
of
at some
offset.
colors.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe something crazy, like
green. Don't say God. Come
So, anyways, what's the plan for you guys? Because I want to have this thing done quickly.
How quick?
2 weeks.
Oh, that's a full teardown.
2
and everything.
weeks.
Okay, for 4 weeks.
Okay.
4 weeks
is
is better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's doable.
How about 35 days? Because there's no paint.
Well,
That's always the holdup.
there's a little bit. It's never the holdup.
It's
a little bit
always
of
the
paint.
holdup.
Okay, it's always the holdup.
Here's the curveball. We got a decent truck right here, and we've got that 78 4x4 that we drug out of a field.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get that up and running.
Yeah.
So can we take everything that we take out of here, radiator, motor, trans, rear end, whatever we don't use, and stick it in there?
I mean, yeah, this is a running and driving truck. You might need like a refreshing on the motor, but
We
yeah.
can send that off to City Motors, get the motor refreshed real fast, and then just buy all the basic stuff for that truck. You know, just a rebuild kits for the front and rear ends and new springs and shocks and coils and whatever, and break it up and everything and get it, because I don't want to change that truck hardly at all.
Yeah,
No,
I like
it's
that
sweet.
truck. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the color of my garage beer line, so maybe we make that the garage beer truck. What?
So, wait, no, we're not and out of this. Is that thrown into our 35 days though?
Sort of, but both trucks being done would be nice, but okay,
I
if
knew
you
there was
need
a
my
catch.
help, I'll come back here.
35 days it is.
No problem. Get to work then.
We got it.
So we're going to pull the valve cover off and make sure there's nothing going on with the rocker arms or the valve adjustment. You know, if we got a valve hung open, obviously we're going to lose compression. So we're just going to check that, and if tolerances are good on the valve clearance, then we got a hole in the piston, cracked ring or something. But we've got enough information to know that if the rocker arm doesn't fix this or the valve adjustment, then it's going to be off to the machine shop. Look at there. You don't always get that lucky. I would rather be lucky than good.
Well, that's good.
Because I ain't very good. Holy!
Oh my God, that is horrible.
I tried to tell him. I ain't even gonna take it off all the way. Look, that's enough right there.
That's nasty.
He said it needs a refresh. Jeez.
Y'all gonna tell me some bad news?
A little bit.
See, that's why you don't look in there. I told you not to open it. I told you just to put it in the other. Now we have to do something about it.
Well-
if you hadn't opened it, we wouldn't know. I bet the compression test was fine.
No, absolutely not.
It was a dead cylinder.
Yep.
Well, who the hell told you to do that?
It was a running motor. We should have just pulled it and put it in the other truck.
Now you're gonna make me look bad because I said this truck was ready to drive to California, but not to go to California.
You probably still can.
7 other cylinders. I mean,
It actually drove good. That's what doesn't make sense. It
What's wrong
ran
with you
good.
people? Okay, well, back to plan B.
we had a plan B.
Dude, I'm already on plan Z.
Okay.
Getting out of here.
Right, here we go. We got the go ahead, right?
Yep, finally, green light.
Okay. Yeah, green light. We're going to start tearing apart the F100.
Ricky and Kenny got in there and tore a valve cover off and realized that this thing is nasty and sludgy and rusty all in there. So what we're gonna do is pop this thing out, send the motor, get it refreshed, and have it ready for the yellow truck.
All right. Kenny's even got an 8-inch bit and a drill over
I got it
there.
ready. I'm ready to
I
go.
got one over here. It's about to begin. All right, guys, as you can see, we got our front clip off as far as the fenders, grill, core support. Now we're underneath it. We've got the exhaust out, drive shaft out. We lowered the transmission. We're trying to get the transmission loose. Once we get the transmission loose, we'll drop it down. Then we'll come back down with the truck and pull the motor.
All right, so day 2's underway. Doing a little cleanup before we really dive back into the F100. Basically, the goal of the day is to get all the way down to the frame where we can get the entire frame cleaned up. What we're gonna do is get this chassis on a dolly or something, get it outside, get the majority of the heavy grease sprayed off of here because we're having a cool thing come tomorrow. We're going to get this whole chassis laser down to the bare metal. It's supposed to work really good, might save us some hours and some time. And then while we're doing that, we're gonna go through all the parts, see what we wanna keep, what we don't, and get this Ride Tech kit lined out. So as we're finishing up the last little bit of the chassis, it's time to set the engine and transmission in. We really need to get a good mock-up. And just like y'all voted for, we have a Gen 3 Coyote that's supercharged. 785 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque at 13 pounds of boost. Dude, this 79 F100 is gonna be a tire shredding monster, and I cannot wait to get it going. So let's get this thrown in the chassis.
Very nice. Very nice. Nicely done.
I called Caleb over at Wilwood and explained to him what we really wanted to do with this truck. This is going to be a runner and a beater to where we can actually just get down on this truck, take it to a track, haul ass. And dude, he hooked us up with the 14-inch aero package, 6 piston freaking calipers. This truck is going to be a monster from top to bottom. Don't let the paint fool you.
All right, so it is day 5, actually day 4.5 because there's still some hours left in this day. And the guys seem to have gotten a long way. All the Ride Tech suspension's in, brakes are on, motor's in, tranny's in. What are we looking at, guys? Look at this.
We this side's a little bit open, but we have the fender over there. We was getting some measurements for JTX. on wheels. So I'm glad you're out here.
So I know I said order a Gen 3, but what did I end up ordering? What did y'all get?
That's a Gen 3 Coyote. It just has some accessories.
Like what?
I mean, it's got a supercharger. It's just a little bit of a supercharger.
I saw a little bit of extra stuff up there. And
So,
what are we looking at horsepower wise?
785.
785?
785. Yeah.
It seems like such an arbitrary number. Can we get like 850 maybe? Can we do something?
I bet we could get there with a good tune. That's just out of the box with the supercharger on a Gen 3. And that's not headers, that's not tune or anything.
It's not playing with the pulleys either. Okay. Let's talk about wheels, because I know JTX asked if we were going to use their wheels, and I hate, you know, the way these Ford trucks started getting done. You know, people were putting those Crown Vics under there, and I hated that because you always had just this flat, ugly wheel that looked like a hubcap.
Yes.
I need some depth up here.
Well, the way that we were just measuring it, I think we can get about a 5 to 6 inch lip on the front wheel and still be inside of fender wells.
Can we get a little more than that on the rear?
Yeah, so we're looking at, we'd probably do a full 10-inch wheel, maybe even like an 11. So that's a lot of meat on the front, especially a truck.
All right.
This is one that they sent over. We didn't know how you would like it.
I like the wheel. The engine compartment underneath this lip, and everything's gonna be super clean, super nice, whatever flat gray we pick for the interior. And I was thinking, we talked about it the other day, I think we do the dash. I was gonna leave the dash black and the dash pad black, door panels black, and black seats, black carpet, and then the gray everywhere else. I think we do the metal part of the dash in gray, and then black dash pad and door panels and seats and stuff. I think that'll set it off, because by leaving it just black, I think it looks like we didn't try.
No, I agree. Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
The chassis is complete. We've got all our ride tech components in. We did the full front, you know, cross member, A-arms, did the C-notch and 4-link in the rear. We've got everything welded up, boxed in like we need.
So I'm doing my best to get all this surface rust off, and then once I get that done, I can get it in the paint booth and start getting some paint on it, which I need to hurry because I got to get it back to them.
So while we're waiting on that chassis, Josh and I are going to go ahead and get started on the Coyote engine. We're going to put a billet oil pump gear in here. So we're going to take the whole front timing cover off, valve covers, take the supercharger off, and put this oil pump gear in and make it solid. As you might remember, you can go back and watch a video about Skidmark. We put a Chevy LS or LT 8.8, I'm sorry, 6.6 liter LAT in it. And so what I'm trying to say here is that was a cam in block pushrod motor, but this here is a Coyote motor from Ford. And what makes it different is the cam is not inside the block. It has dual overhead cams. So this is kind of a more recent technology. And when they do this, this one here has variable valve timing, so these cams can actually change their timing with oil pressure since they're overhead. And on top of the valves, you got two of them, intake and an exhaust. So one cam's working all the intake valves, one cam's working all the exhaust valves. So it gives it a little bit more tunability instead of just one cam turning both intake and exhaust.
guys, so we got the front suspension knocked out. Ricky got the engine all buttoned up, other than just bolting the supercharger on. We needed to put a pull plate, but we're ready to pretty much go in with the front, and now it's time to dive into this entire rear suspension setup. I'm not gonna say rear end because that's weird. We got Curry's 35 spline cut to fit axles. These things are monsters, and yeah, you can cut them to fit, trim them down, whatever, you know, width you want in your rear end. And then they're built, billet housing, everything you can think of, Curry, third member. 370 gears, this thing should get down pretty good, dude, but after we're getting down, we're gonna need to stop.
And here we have Wilwood's 14-inch aero brakes that are going in the rear, and it's gonna help stop really fast.
Guys, so all the suspension is done. It's all tightened up, torqued down. We are ready to throw the engine into the chassis and get this cab on here because Mike has been waiting patiently to paint this thing. I think he's got the silver picked out. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, we don't know what he does on that side of the wall, but everything's good. We got a roller and it's time to get this thing thrown in. All right, so the engine's stabbed in and now it's time to throw on some headers just so when we drop the cab, it's a lot easier just to do it now. And dude, just wait. Our guys over at Ultimate Headers did us a solid again. Look at these freaking headers, Ricky.
They look good.
This thing's bad, bro. Like, we have no room in this chassis. Coyotes are a really, really big block. This is an old chassis, so it's narrow. Engine bay doesn't have a lot of room. So, dude, they really went out of their way. Got these things to us in like 2 or 3 days, something like crazy fast. So, I'm ready to get these in there and see how they look. What we're gonna do is make sure we got it centered up, make sure the steering shaft still clears everything, doesn't hit anything, and then put this back on, and then go to like a uniball setup, you know, something more clean than that big old triangle. And then it's over to you. And then you're not bothering us. What happened?
Yeah.
Alright guys, so yesterday we got the cab over to Mike and he's gonna do his thing, get it painted up and looking good. But while we were waiting, me, Kenny, and Ricky got this entire chassis built out, ready to go. It's pretty much a roller, waiting for the cab. Dude, I gotta tell you, I know that it's patina and I know that it's ugly, but everything underneath this thing is about as bad as you can build. We got a Gen 3 Coyote with a freaking Edelbrock supercharger, Ride Tech suspension. I mean, that shit right there alone is just a monster. Oversized Wilwood 6-piston brakes. I think they're 14-inch for a pickup truck. That's nuts. Tremec T56 transmission Magnum. And, dude, let's hit on this one more time. Carbon fiber drive shaft. That's so cool. That's the first one I've ever done. Pretty excited about that. We got a 4.9-inch rear end. It's the stock one, but we did beef it up and we put all Curry guts in it. So Curry third member, oversized axles, 35 spline, oversized Wilwood brakes on the rear, race fuel tank. I mean, dude, anything you could do to this truck is being done. And then we're doing even more in the interior. But the next step, while we're waiting on Mike, is to get this engine fired up. We just want to hear it. I know it's not the proper way, but dude, we're gonna throw some Castrol in it. Ugh, Castrol oil. We're gonna put it in the engine and get this thing fired up. I know it's open headers, but it's still fucking sick. Figured out. We had one ground that was loose.
So.
Well, as I've always said, let it rip, tater chip. Woo! I like it. Sounds like a Gen 3 Coyote motor with a little extra stuff in it.
Electric. Hey, all we know is that we can throw this cab on now and haul ass from here because we know it busts off.
Cool, be done with the cab, what, in the morning?
He said tonight, so fingers crossed.
Well, that'll be in the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
Okay. Well then, y'all can have a running driving truck by Friday.
If that cab gets over here, it's gonna be pretty damn close to next Friday.
Super cool, man. You guys are crushing it, and just keep going, man. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
All right, so we got the cab on, firewalls painted, and now we're starting to build out the pedal assembly, line the floor with our sound skins. Ricky's running the rest of the e-brake lines, running wiring. This is when the build actually starts kind of visually picking up progress. It's more of the exciting part to me because you actually see the truck come together. So, man, I'd have to say we've probably only got about 5 or 6 days left in this thing and when we're done. So I'm ready to see it pulling tires. So we got most of our sound skin in, that's going in the cab. Right now I'm gonna get the seat brackets so we can have a seat to be able to actually sit behind the wheel and drive it. But after that, once I get this done, I'm gonna move on to wiring the cab up and actually getting wires to the back and to the front to the location so we can have lights. Kenny got the seat brackets made and got the pedals in there, so we really need to throw our TMI seats inside the cab and just feel out, you know, where they're gonna land. And dude, these TMI Cruiser Series low backs, dude, are exactly what we're looking for. Richard really wanted a low back seat. He's always picky about, you know, the seat sticking up in there. We wanted a really modern feel in this cab, so we got some high bolstering on the sides. And man, I can tell you right now, these are nice quality seats. Stitching looks good, everything. So let's throw them in there and see how they actually feel. So we're gonna use these wheels that we have laying around. They're not really the right offset or the right size that we're gonna be using. We're still waiting on our wheels to get done. Normally we wouldn't run these adapters on anything, but since these wheels are a different offset, the inside actually rubs on the caliper. We're putting this little spacing so we can just not mess up these beautiful Wilwood calipers. I like that.
I'm so happy with our stance. That Ride Tech front and rear clip was the way to go. Coilovers are gonna make it super adjustable and perform incredibly well. Big stabilizer bar too, so if we do get to put it on a track, it's gonna be fun.
What's up, guys? It's day 35. You know, when I come back here, it's usually day 1, maybe around day 15, and then when it's due, which is today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're waiting on a radiator fan.
Yeah, radiator fan.
Your card declined, so we couldn't.
Oh, my card never declines. Ever. But anyways, what's the scoop? Where are we at? What do we got left?
Waiting on wheels. JTX. Chris is, gonna keep us on the edges always. Sub box, few things in the interior, and like they said, radiator fan, throw the front end on. I mean, if everything was here, a day's worth of work.
All right, I can live with that. I heard the motor run already and everything like that, so we got to put in exhaust.
Exhaust.
Where are we running that? Are we running it all the way to the back, to the side, to the front, out the hood?
Well, we wanted to run it out of the side of the bed in between the trim, but it's just not enough room. I think we all personally like a side blower, kind of NASCAR look. It kind of fits the truck, but I mean, it really just comes on where do you want it to come out.
I was thinking 70 side pipes, but it doesn't go with this build, so we're not going to use that. What about in the back after the wheel well popping out the sides?
Yeah,
well, you still got double trim, so I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, it doesn't work there either.
No, there's not enough room.
Too much trim.
Yeah, and we can't go there. I don't like it when you even stop it, just under, because it reverberates through the wheel well and everything, and it's just too daggone loud.
You don't want to do yours and Shawnee B's baloney cuts again?
Hey, I love baloney cuts, man. Don't jack with me.
I mean, we can come out the back.
We're running a stock bumper, right?
Correct.
We're not going to the ground with the bumper, so you don't want to come through the bumper real clean. That would not make any sense. Up pipes, like on the Little Red Express? I literally don't know.
I know.
I literally don't know.
That's why we've kind of sat here and waited.
You guys are up awful close to each other. What's going on?
I was playing with his box.
What?
With his air box.
And I guess this is our electric box.
That's our electric box.
Yep.
Damn, dude, you didn't cut those out of stickers. Those are painted?
They're painted.
That's
gonna be the #1 comment, is that those gotta be stickers.
Yeah. But that's a compliment in my world if they think it's a sticker.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
I wanted to do your face, but
Nobody wants to see my face anymore than
I'm
I
gonna
have to.
make you look like Jesus, electric Jesus, and wind blowing Jesus.
I'm feeling more like old man. Time is catching up with me.
Father Time Jesus.
Father Time Jesus. But no, those are really kick-ass, dude. I like those a lot. And they, this is a fun truck. It's supposed to be fun, fast, dangerous. I love it. I love it. All right, kick-ass. So, I've been thinking about the grill. Okay. And I think I want to push it in and give it a little bit of depth. That'll make it look pretty cool.
Just your centerpiece.
Just a centerpiece.
Okay.
So, how do the guys mock that up, or just push it back? I want to go as far as we can. If it's back even like an inch, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
Somebody yelling my name while I'm trying to have my morning coffee in my coffee mug that has Gas Monkey on it.
That's a nice mug. Get it now at gasmonkeygarage.com. No, so we got the grill set back. You need a chair? You need a chair.
No, it's not as far, it doesn't have that deep mouth that I wanted to have.
Well, that's as far as we can go. We're like up against, we have probably a good 1/4 inch away from fans and stuff like that. There's no more length we can get.
Well, obviously we're going to trim this tab clean.
Yeah.
And then if we clean this up, I don't know, where's Mike Coy? Coy!
Hello, Mike.
What's up? I'm thinking that there's 2 ways we could go about this. One, well, it went back, but it didn't go back far enough to give me the depth that I wanted.
Okay.
So do we come in and tape this and then paint the inside of this stainless the color that we did in here?
I can. If we paint it, it's going to appear to have more depth than it does.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Make a pocket.
Now, if we're doing that, do we want to tape off the front of this where it is shiny, which is a lot of taping off, and then shoot it in the same gray so that we get this lip, and then all of these boxes inside are this 2024 Ford?
If we're going to paint this, then yeah, I think we do need to paint that.
But we're going to leave the chrome strip on the out.
Right, we'll leave this, yeah. So we'll do just like they did, where all the pockets are painted. But if you're doing that, I would also do these. I don't have to, but we can come back and do them later. If we can put it together, I can do the grill and that, and then you can look at it.
Let's do the grill and that first. And the reason I say that is I'm trying to emphasize performance. Everything coming through here is kick ass and go fast and all that kind of stuff. And if we go too far, then where do we stop? Then it's like, well, do we do something on the back bezels? Do we do, you know, I think if we stick it straight to the idea of performance, and that's the gut punch, I think that's what we do.
You want to go that dark gray?
Yeah, I think we go that color.
You don't want to do silver?
Nope. I think we do that color.
What silver?
The silver we did earlier, and then I can redo it gray.
Oh yeah, then you can redo it?
Yeah.
Well, it's time for cut and take class for the preschooler here. And what is it? It is 9:10. I have made a major decision. I'm done for the day.
You're good. You're good. Go enjoy your air-conditioned office.
Alright guys, so it's time for the exhaust on the F100, the MF79. And just as mean as it is, we need a badass exhaust. We all looked at your comments and we're super excited. Y'all agreed NASCAR boom tubes too. So what we're gonna do is take our MagnaFlow performance stuff and then just kind of make our own exhaust under here. I mean, nothing's new, it's all cool. So we're gonna come off the headers, throw some V-bands on there, come in the down pipes, go into an H pipe, and then we're gonna turn it out right in front of the tires and go into some NASCAR boom tubes. Man, I cannot express how excited I am that y'all chose this, so let's get after it. So we got to the back side of our mufflers. Now it's time to take and turn these out to where we can get into our tips. This is a really big exhaust. We're running 3-inch on here. There's not a lot of room, so we're gonna try to keep it as tight as we can right here. That way when we go into the boom tubes, it's just nice and sleek right at the bottom of the, you know, the quarter panel. So fingers crossed we can figure something out in here. Time to play like a jigsaw puzzle or whatever.
As you can see, our boom tubes, I put a little bit longer length on them. You might be wondering why. You can make them longer, and then you can do Richard's famous baloney cut. And then match it up with the body line. So, as you can see on this side, I already did that, matched it up, centered it out in the hole, and then cut it. So we're gonna clean it up just a tad bit, maybe add another weld on the end so the chambers on the inside aren't rattling or moving around. But now I just gotta copy it on that side, and then have Josh weld that thing up, and that'll be it. Booming.
Alright, so the exhaust is done. The truck is down on its brand new gunny wheels. Thanks Gunny, by the way, these are awesome. But we want to get it out of the lift to where we can really get the height adjusted, get it all squared up, get the hood on, and plus we really just want to hear this exhaust.
What do we got to do left? Just the wheels from JTX. We go get those, put the hood on. We need to get a good driving tune on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
do we have him booked?
No, we're waiting on the wheels, but I figure we're going in the morning, so we can go ahead and book him for tomorrow afternoon.
Possibly.
I mean, we're gonna be cutting it close if we don't. Because what, Bondus is in 3 days, 2 days, something?
Trace days, Trace Dios.
Well,
Diaz. Leave it to Kenny to correct my Spanish. We finally made it out here to JTX Forged. He's cutting us some wheels for the MF79, and it's not really that far out here, but it's a long damn ways. I'm a city boy. This is the country.
That's good.
I gotta say, this is freaking a lot of wheels, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I gotta say. There ain't a room here that was dirty. Even the polishing room.
Hold on.
Oh, is this us?
Yeah.
Drum roll.
That's you.
That's you.
Come on, man.
Let's see what we think.
What? Oh, yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's gonna work just fine.
That'll be good.
Fucking money.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it.
That's on it.
I wasn't gonna do it. I didn't want to call it out.
Are you kidding me? They're gonna stay braided? Or are they gonna stay?
Yeah.
Just like my Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a front or a rear?
That's the rear. That's
It's a rear?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Good
Yeah.
color, right?
Huh?
Good color.
Hell yeah.
I think that gray and the lighter, the truck and all that'll go good.
Now that's gonna look really sexy on there.
Kind of.
And we got them just in time for Fantasy Truckers. Tires are laying there, including an extra set of rears.
Including?
I don't know what's that for.
What do you need an extra set of rear tires for?
Well, I don't know. Might need to do some test and tuning. But no, that's badass, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
They look good.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
Get you some of that. For the first time ever, we let the crowd out there in the old interwebs decide what we were going to build, how we were going to build it, how we were going to power it, and what its general style was going to be. So let me introduce you to the MF79. Get you some of that. Get out of the way, OBS coming through. Surprise! I've been collecting some parts, and we still got some big ones to find. We need to find a motor. It's the most biggest one. But this is gonna be our build for the week. Your mission, should you accept it, because you guys are all truck guys and everybody loves these things here, and you know these like the back of your hand. What do you say out there, social interwebs? Can they do it? 5 guys, 5 days, down the frame, all the way back up. Running and driving, perfect. Big wheels, big brakes, big motor.
You're wasting our time.
What?
You're wasting our time.
Hey, I want to go from small block to big block. The motor's not out yet. What's wrong with y'all?
It's only been 2 hours.
It has been 2 hours and 10 minutes. Oh, I like it. Look, Chad's back.
Yeah, I got the rear end dropped off. Everything looks good to have it knocked out.
Okay, well, motor's fixing to come out, so what did you find going in?
Texas Speed and Performance has a motor in stock. The problem is they can't get it out here for a couple days because they're short-handed. So if we want it, we got to go pick it up.
What is it?
It's a Texas Speed and Performance LS Base 454.
Ooh, that's what I said. I wanted to jump from small to big.
That's big.
All right, how many horse?
It's around 650 horsepower.
Is it dynoed ready, top to bottom?
All set up. They had it for someone and they backed out, so it's just been sitting there.
How far is that, like 200 miles?
They're in Georgetown, so it's about a 2.5-ish, 3-hour drive, depending on traffic.
We beat the traffic, we get back out of Austin before the traffic. All right, grab your shit, let's go.
Road trip.
You couldn't talk them into delivering it? What's wrong with you? Boom, so there you go. With a little trickery of camera, we're automatically here. Actually, it took 2 hours, 15 minutes. Very good time, by the way. Here we are at Texas Speed and Performance. Age before beauty. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Richard? How you doing?
Well, you're saving my ass if you got this
Hey,
motor.
how's it going, man?
If you got this thing ready to rock, you'll be saving me. But
Yeah.
now that I'm here, holy cow, dude, you guys got an operation.
Yeah, man, let me take you for a tour around. We'll check it out.
This is pretty rad.
Yeah, so we pretty much do it all here in-house. We grind our own cams here in-house. All the cylinder heads are done here in-house. The castings are all poured in the U.S. And we bring them in and finish out all the machine work here. Over here, they take care of all the blocks from the boring it out, honing, all that stuff's done over here. We do all our re-sleeves on one of these 2 Centroid machines here.
And that's what we're getting, one of your re-sleeve motors?
Yeah. So basically, you start with a factory block, factory sleeves. We cut them out, and then we put in our hardened sleeves here, interlocking. It gives a ton of strength and rigidity to the side. And I mean, we got people making 1,600 horsepower with these blocks, with a 4-bolt block. With the 1/2-inch head studs, they don't lift the heads or anything. So making big power, going fast for sure.
That's perfect.
Yep, so this is where after everything's all cleaned up and machined, they bring it in here and finish up the blocks and everything. So
Clean and quiet room.
Yep, exactly. So Rodney Pope here is the lead engine builder.
Rodney?
He would have put your engine together, and you're basically looking at something like this, a re-sleeve LS block here coming together. So very similar.
That is pretty cool. You guys are jamming. You guys are killing it. All right, where's this motor of ours?
Right through here.
There we go. What?
Yeah, we got one of the local guys here does some awesome artwork with spray paint, so we figured we'd get it done as quick as we could and do a nice paint job on it for you. So
you got that done in 2 hours?
Yep, we got it done in 2 hours, man. So
well,
we hustled for you.
Kick ass, man. So I got 675 horse, LS 3 sleeved.
Yeah, it's a re-sleeved 454.
So it's already locked up, man.
Yeah, well, let me get the screwdriver right here. We'll pop it open, man. Got to let you check it out.
Yeah, unscrew it.
You guys can take that top off. I'll get the front.
Look at you guys. What, you got somebody that just had some spray paint and decided to go to work?
Yep, yeah, that's what they do. Had them come on down and finish it up for you.
That's going to fit just fine.
Oh, yeah. We figured while you were driving down, we could get you something a little more, little custom here.
I love custom, but now I'm going to have to make like Smokey and the Bandit and head back because I got my load of Coors and I'm ready to go.
Well,
we got to throw this thing on.
Yeah, let's get this back wrapped up and get in your
I think
truck.
I backed up to the right door even. Kick ass, guys. Hey, thank you, man.
Richard.
We're going to be putting this thing in by evening.
Thank you very much.
Heck yeah, can't wait to see this bad boy in there.
It'll be in by morning. It'll be on wheels. What you doing, man? That thing ain't going nowhere. Okay. Do you really think that's going to blow out?
I'm not worried about blowing out. We'll just do what Jason told me.
Who?
Jake. Second boss.
Not even 5 o'clock.
That's what we just said.
great. There's still 6 hours of work. Oh, one of them's girlfriend decided to come up there real quick and paint some stuff on it.
I think it's pretty cool.
She like does graffiti stuff.
She did a heck of a job.
So get this thing off and get it inside.
Hey, I got a forklift right here, so hold on.
675 horsepower from Texas Speed and Performance. All right, cool. So, boom, how are we doing here?
Well, you're what? What are we, 9 hours in?
Yeah, about that.
I think we killed it.
Not even that.
Keenan and Tony are already sanding the cab of the truck. Obviously, we've got the bottom side of this completely coated. We're waiting to dry to flip it over and do that tonight, obviously, because we want to get the motor down in the morning first thing.
Okay.
But we're getting ready to haul off a bunch of the scrap we're not going to use. But all in all, I don't think you could ask for more in 9 hours.
Well, we're not stopping for tonight, are we? Can't we assemble
No,
stuff?
Not stopping. Yes.
No, I said I got to wait till it dries.
Yeah.
I'm only hearing part of it.
Well, should we be assembling stuff? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
That is done. Front runners on it from Heck and Billet. And it's been dynoed, ran. It is ready. What's up, everybody? Day 2 of the OBS build. We left sometime around 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. I'm not sure. Go in, see what the guys got done, and see where we're at and what we got to do today. It's going to be killer. Only 3 days left after this.
Look who's here. Daddy's home.
It's nice of you to show up.
I'm only like 45 minutes late.
Well, you are the boss, so I guess you're allowed.
Yeah. So tell me where we're at. What happened today? What happened yesterday is what I want to know.
I think we had a great day yesterday for tearing a complete truck apart. And
jeez, dude.
I mean, we've already got the frame done.
Got notches in. We're putting the ride tech in. So notches are cut, bolted. I'm finished bolting them up right now. We're gonna have the rear end back any minute now from getting the gears put in it, and then we'll be able to wrap up rear suspension, and I'll move to the front.
Yep. Then we're going brake lines in under the motor trans together, dropped in while Jeremy is doing front suspension. Yep. Over here, what else, Chad? Drive shaft, obviously, we can't get made until we have the truck sitting down. So we're going to continue the chassis till we have a rolling chassis tonight.
So you're going to be roller tonight with motor and trans in.
Yes.
And rear end.
And brake and fuel line started, and hopefully the fuel tank in as well.
Brakes on?
And everything. Yeah, brakes are completely assembled and ready to go, pre-assembled to go on the vehicle.
Ooh, that is some stopping power.
They're massive, and Little Shop's really stepped up with the parts you need to be able to adapt the Wilwoods to your OBS, which is a big thing because Wilwood doesn't make a direct kit. They rely on Little Shop, so Chad was able to get all the parts from them and get them here.
The Budnick wheels and wheels are here.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, those things are killer.
Pull that bad boy out.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys and gals.
Yeah, that is a killer wheel for this truck.
20x8.5s in the front, 20x10s in the rear with matching steering wheel.
Yep.
We're going straight up early 2000s build, aren't we?
Yep.
Heck yeah. You guys are rolling. This side of the shop is going to be tranny, transmission, engine, rear end, wheels, tires, suspension on the ground today.
Yes,
Let's go see what paint's doing. All right. These guys are kicking ass over there. How are y'all doing over here?
We're good. We're in good position. We got cab ready for paint today. Hood been cut in today. Fenders will be ready today. Bumper will be ready today. Grill. The only thing we don't have ready right now is the bed. And that'll be the last thing that we do. So.
Well, yeah, the last few feet of a truck is pretty easy.
Yep.
Look at the inside of this. Look at the floorboards.
Super clean.
Oh yeah, that is crazy clean. So there you go, day 2 of the OBS build, and my guys are killing it. They seem to be happy with where they're at, but one thing I know after doing this 145 something times is a problem always presents itself. Something will go wrong. That's just the way building cars works. Keep hanging out. Keep watching us on all the social channels, Gas Monkey and Richard. And thank you guys for all your support out there. Keep watching the brand. Get on the merch store. Get some stuff. I got to pay for this. And woo!
Hey, Jason.
Second day. Paint's mixed. Truck's in the booth. It's not even noon yet. kicking ass.
Look at you guys go. I can see it right from my window. So we did right at 12 hours flat yesterday, 8:30 to 8:30 or so. And today we got started closer to 8, so we're 8 to 2, we're 6, 9. That makes 15 hours in.
And you had to drive all the way down there and pick up the motor and come back.
Well, yeah, but y'all were working that time.
Hey.
Thank God.
So 15 hours in. How are we looking on our rear end? Is it going to be ready?
They said 3 o'clock, correct?
Should be done today.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you go in there, you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see blue paint all over the entire truck, minus the bed.
Well, I saw the inside of the hood this morning.
No. He's painting the whole cab, the fenders, the hood, and everything right now.
Man, maybe we'll be ready early. Maybe I can start drinking beer on Friday morning.
You need to go walk away before you jinx us. This is what always happens.
Nah, this is badass, man.
Yep.
It's gonna look good. I'm really impressed so far, guys.
Thank you.
Keep kicking ass and taking names.
All right. Got to get our tired brains to work, and then we'll be out of here. Heck yeah. It's a roller by the end of the second day. Ready?
Yep.
You want to bring it back? Whoa, don't run over my Keating.
Let's hope I keep centered. That's all I care about, so the mount section fit.
That was good timing.
We need to bring the front of it over to Jeremy a little bit. Front over to Jeremy, yeah.
Front of the chassis?
Yeah.
One,
Ready?
2. All I did was pull the alignment. Because we haven't tightened up the bolts yet. Stab it and just swing the jack
we just
around
need a little bit.
Like start over there and come this way, it'll bring it to you.
Yeah, we don't need much. There you go, you got it solid there. Okay, set her down.
How's that look? Less like the cab was popping a wheelie? Nope.
Plenty of clearance on the...
Yeah, now we got clearance on the gas tank too, because it was like right on it.
You got plenty everywhere here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah. Look at all that firewall clearance and everything. Dude. Starting to look sharp.
Dude, you guys killed it on that wheel selection.
That's a successful day too.
Yeah, let's go home, boys. I'm tired.
I still think we could get further. Just kidding.
You want to stay?
No.
Kidding? You want to stay?
Worthless tomorrow.
Well, we're we're to the point now that we're ready to put the bed down on the truck. Paint turned out great, the roll pan on the back. The only issue we have is with our new high-tech ride-tech suspension in the rear, we have to eliminate this center brace in the bed, which means literally cutting the entire brace off the floor without damaging the paint on top because of heat, or slipping with a blade and cutting through the floor. So no real pressure. You know, we've only got 2 days left.
We're gonna find out.
Okay, did you finally find the happy medium?
Yeah, and they're tight. I think, well, we got cinder and all that stuff. We've tested it. We know what ohms we got, so we can set our gauges.
That is such a cool setup. First one.
Yeah.
So you're ready for the bed?
I think so.
Cut the cross member out. It's ready to go, so it should fit right on.
Let's throw it on.
Jeremy, if we lift, will you take care of the filler neck?
Oh, geez, give me the hard job.
Oh, is it a hard job?
I don't know.
I figured that was easier.
Oh, it sucks.
Well, then you want me under the car doing it, or truck?
No, I'm just talking it up, so it seems like I'm doing something.
Gotcha. Let's do this. Well, it's lighter than the cab. How you guys? Left to right? Are we good? The good news is I didn't hear anything break. God, I love this blue truck. Is it possible to have too many blue vehicles? I could own this too.
No.
Dude, I love this truck. You guys have won me over the OBS world. If I can have this one.
Big row on you.
Gangsta.
Dude, this thing is badass. Those wheels, those gigantic brakes.
Yeah.
So here we are in the middle of the morning of day 4, and we're getting really close to wrapping a lot of things up. The body's coming together really nicely. We're gonna have the glass in this morning. Chad's out getting AC parts. Jeremy's finishing wiring up the motor. Keenan's in there working on gauges. Tony and I are working on brakes and front headlights and things like that. So a lot of little things, details. Everything is happening right now, but it'll start really showing this afternoon because we need to have a physically fully put together truck minus maybe a hood, and hoping to hopefully fire it this evening.
Okay, Roki, you want front or back?
Take the front.
Why you get the easy stuff? There. Now we can come back.
Yes.
They had it.
Yes. Winning. Perfect.
We need it. The winning part.
Tone?
Yeah.
Hey, would you see if this will work?
Oh, I'll make it work. Thank you.
Got the right wire, so we're halfway home.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, Chad. We're back now, so we're dragging a little bit starting out. Right now we're buttoning up the grille, the front bumper, the rest of the panels to the truck. I think we're even going to set the hood, get the hood in place. Now that we know we have no fuel leaks, we've no leaks to speak of yet, knock on wood, we can start putting the rest of the truck together.
72 hours in.
Yeah, we are trying to program it, so fingers crossed.
Is that a cow hood?
Yeah.
Damn!
You don't fool around.
Straight up 90s. Y'all put oil in it?
Yep. You got 60 pounds. Yep. It's learning. You just got to remember.
I get it.
It's all new.
Why is it cutting off?
See, you're getting all anxious. We're trying.
I am. I'm freaking out, man.
Unbelievable. All the way down to the frame, all the way back up, running, driving, doing everything it's supposed to do. Not leaving the radio.
I believe we have done the job. Woo! As I like to say, get you some of that. To the baddest motherfucking car builders on the planet, you guys literally killed it. This is amazing. And 75, right at hours. We'll get the official minute count, but 75 hours done. Thank you. I'm very proud to be in your presence.